This broadcast is streamed and produced by Midnight Sports and is not affiliated with any hockey organization, club, or team. Midnight Sports is comprised of hockey parents who stream games for friends and family who cannot attend the games in person.
Good evening and welcome to Midnight Sports here at Aviator Sports Complex. I'm Matthew Fauci, and we have a good matchup today between the McClancy Crusaders and the St. Peter's Birds. Stick around, and we have a game coming up soon. just about ready for puck drop as McClancy and St. Peter's send out their 5. And we're underway here at Aviator. Puck still on the dot. Won by McClancy. They take it in the zone. Makes a move, and he dumps it in. And St. Peter's will start their breakout from behind their own net. They get stuck in behind the ref. Still with McClancy. St. Peter's wins it back. They throw it around the right side of the boards, and back into the left corner. And St. Peter's will clear it. Icing is waved off as St. Peter's starts their forecheck. A nice move behind the net. McClancy passed it to the left side. Cross ice. Foot gets in the way there. And St. Peter's takes it into their zone. In the corner. They still have the puck. Still with it on the left side of the boards. Swings across ice, but it won't. Back up top now. Pointman sends it in. And McClancy will start a breakout here. And it chips up the boards. And McClancy gets something out of here. But it comes back to the St. Peter's defenseman. Swings it to the other defenseman. Swings it back to the first side. Swings it up the boards now. St. Peter's has a 2-on-1 developing. Swings across ice. No. Goes wide and the net is off. And face off to McClancy goalie's left side. Face off won by McClancy. Brings it up top and they start to skate with it. Get the red line. And it leaves it for his teammate. Trying to make a move but can't get it. Goes back up to McClancy. Back up to the point. And he fires. And he scores. And a shot from the point puts McClancy up 1-0. And here's the face-off after the first goal. Won by St. Peter's. He's going to take it into the offensive zone. It stood up. Swings it down and icing will be called. So face-off will be down in McClancy's own end. Face-off won by McClancy. He takes it up the middle here. And he's going to try to get it all the way. Do it himself, but he gets stood up by the St. Peter's defenseman. St. Peter's is able to get the puck out of their zone, starting up a 3-on-2. A one-timer save made, and the net's off again. A 2-odd-man rushes, 2 saves for this McClancy goalie. And face-off will be to his left. .12:44 left in the first period. This face-off won by St. Peter's. But they cough it up and McClancy will send it all the way down for an icing. Face off to the McClancy goalie's left. And it is won by St. Peter's at the point now. Shoots, save made. And the McClancy defenseman makes a good move to get it out. Throws it weak side, and he misses that pass. And we call an icing there, as the faceoff will go back down to McClancy's zone. Another delay is called for McClancy. Face-off is won by St. Peter's. They have it at the point. Slides to D, and they dump it in. St. Peter's has it behind the net now, as they throw it in front, but no one there. The point gets it now. He shoots off the post. No goal. It's still loose. And McClancy, they're not able to clear it. The shot scores. And just a scramble in front of the net. Just winds up in the high slot for that St. Peter's forward to slot it home. And we have a tie hockey game here with 12 minutes to go. Face off won by McClancy. He's going to take it in the zone. Trying to make a move. Stood up. Puck to McClancy's point. He coughs. Messes it up. He recovers quickly. And McClancy swings it around their own net, behind their own net. And hopefully it gets a rush going. He's trying to work it in himself. He gets into the corner. St. Peter's now starts to take it. An arm up. We have a penalty on McClancy. Delayed penalty. And touch up. And McClancy's going to go on a penalty kill for a tripping call. Face off now on the right side of McClancy's defensive zone. Face off won by McClancy. They're going to try to send it out. Back in McClancy's own corner. And the defenseman sends it down to kill time. And close one there. He keeps it in the zone. Oh, never mind. They keep it off. It's offsides. Face off just outside of the St. Peter's defensive zone. Won by McClancy, and the defenseman sends it down. Caught by the goalie, and he will play it behind his own net. And that'll give St. Peter's time to start skating up with it. And he's going to go all the way with it. He's pushed out to the outside. Puck in front, doesn't get into the corner now. Save made by the goalie there. St. Peter's gets it back. Tries to make a move there, but he's going to lose it. And McClancy tries to send it out. Kept in by the point. Slides to the left. And it's short-handed opportunity here for McClancy, if they could catch it. 1 minute to go on the McClancy penalty. And puck goes into their own zone. The St. Peter's player gets it now. Tries to stuff it, but he won't be able to. And it's cleared. And offsides will be called And we'll get a stoppage in play with 10:02 left to go in the first period and 40 seconds to go on the St. Peter's power play. Face-off is won by St. Peter's, but McClancy will get it and start to kill time. Goes behind his own net, and he keeps with the puck, slides it to his point man, and he's going to take off. Has a short-handed opportunity now, and they're just going to dump it in to kill more time. Back on the point, makes a toe drag, fires. Oh, and it goes in his off the St. Peter's player and in his own net, and it's a short-handed goal. But really unlucky for the St. Peter's goalie, and that gives McClancy a 2-1 lead with 9.5 minutes to go in the first period. And face-off is won by St. Peter's. And they're going to send it up to his forward. And offsides will be called. And a stoppage in play. And we'll get a face-off here just outside of McClancy's defensive zone. Face-off is won by St. Peter's. He'll try to get around him, but he won't. And penalty's over. He's trying to spring it open, but it's going to be icing. It was very close to being a quick opportunity for McClancy as soon as the power play expired. A face-off down in McClancy's zone. And it is won by McClancy as they swing it out. St. Peter's defenseman sends it back in. And McClancy will throw it into their own corner. And McClancy's forward will start to take off. Stops. Slides it to the boards. Nice move, but it stood up, and St. Peter's starts their own opportunity now. Stops. Nice move there. Send it in to the corner. Throws in front. Hits the side of the net. And McClancy will take off with it. And he's going to shoot wide. And St. Peter's will get it back now up top. McClancy's going to throw it D to D. And he's going to take off with it. Down. Shoots off the stick of the St. Peter's goalie. And they start a breakout. They're going to take it through the middle of the ice. Makes a nice move. And he's going to in the corner now, trying to cut to the net, but won't be able to. And he'll stay with it. No one's pressuring him. Trying to keep it still with McClancy now. Back to D, and he's going to send it down all the way for another icing. With 7:44 left to go in the first period. Face-off won by St. Peter's. Throws it up to the high slot, but he can't handle the pass. And McClancy's just going to send it up. Trying to chip it around defenseman, but he won't be able to. St. Peter's gets it back in the neutral zone. He's going to take the line and dump it in on net, and the goalie will hold it. And a face-off will be out to the left of him. Face-off won by St. Peter's. He's going to take it looking for someone up top. Someone gets there, shoots, save made. Getting a piece of it is the St. Peter's McClancy goalie. Keeps the line just for a quick second, and offside's called. We're going to get a face-off right outside the zone with 7:08 to go in the first period. Face-off won by St. Peter's. And St. Peter's defenseman will just dump it all the way down on net. And St. Peter's defenseman will start a breakout here. And he's going to start to skate up with it. No pressure coming in the neutral zone. He's going to dump it in the corner now. Puck still stays in the corner. McClancy chips it up, and he's going to pick up speed. Going 1-on-2. He'll dump it in now. And McClancy will have a 3-on-2. McClancy is now facing a 3-on-2. Makes the move around the defenseman. Backhand upstairs wide. And St. Peter's now on the point with it. It cycles it up top. And shoots wide of the net, and it will go out of the zone. As St. Peter's will have to start their breakout. Fires it down. Still with St. Peter's, but kicked by the McClancy player. And D-to-D goes St. Peter's. Trying to get a cross-ice pass, but blocked. Missed pass, shot save made by the goalie. And another shot hits the side of the net. And St. Peter's is going to start a breakout. Now, risky play there. And he's going to throw it to the wide open cross ice. He shoot, save, getting a piece of that as the goalie. Still with St. Peter's. Open in the slot, fires. I don't know what happened there. Got the puck back up top on the point. Shot. And it is in. A weird play there. A bunch of unlucky weird plays have been the name of the game so far. So we have a 2-2 game with 5:07 left in the first period. Face-off won by St. Peter's, slides a D-to-D. And they'll start the breakout here. St. Peter's chips it out of the zone. Back to the McClancy defenseman, who is waiting and looking for the pass. Who flips it to the left side. And St. Peter's player gets a save made by the McClancy goalie. Face-off won by McClancy. And brings it behind his own net. And he's going to circle back to his own net. Sends it to the right side. He's going to start to take off. Slides it cross ice. He can't handle the puck there. And St. Peter's is going to... No icing called. And McClancy has it behind his own net. Looking for the open man is the McClancy defenseman. And there's no one open, so he starts to skate back with it. And now he finds one, but gets a stick in the way. St. Peter's. And McClancy's just going to have to dump it in and start a forecheck here. St. Peter's starts to break out, and no one just gets a piece of that pass. Icing waved off as one person goes on for the St. Peter's forecheck. In the corner now with the puck. Now goes to behind his net. fires it cross ice, but is intercepted by the St. Peter's guy. And McClancy is going to send it back to the defenseman, who takes off with it, but stood up. And Clancy back with it again. And another blind pass. Gives St. Peter's the puck back as they go in, but he loses it. St. Peter's putting a tough forecheck on him. That poke check was almost resulted in a goal there, but the goalie acted quick and would cover the puck with 3:03 left to go in this first period. Face-off is won by McClancy, but they're going to lose it to the St. Peter's point, and they're going to send it to their forwards. Makes a good, nice one move, and goes in through the middle. And he makes a nice toe drag move, fires on his backhand, and it's right into the goalie's chest. As that St. Peter's forward did all that work for nothing. Which just results in a face-off on their right side, which is won by St. Peter's. He's going to swing it to the top, and he shoots, blocked. And it just goes right back up top, right in front of the net. Save made by the goalie. And they get it again, shoots, and he scores. And the puck just pops right out to the St. Peter's player, who slides it home. And St. Peter's takes their first lead of the game. It is now 3-2, St. Peter's. Face-off won by St. Peter's, and they come right back in. And it's offsides. And we're going to have stoppage in play, as the face-off will be just outside the McClancy zone. Face-off is won by St. Peter's, who just send it in. Behind the net now. And McClancy starts their breakout. McClancy now, with speed, goes in all the way by himself. And he's going to shoot, save made, gets his own rebound. He chips it to himself, but he won't be able to catch him. And it's a 2-on-0. And he scores. And just like that, McClancy immediately lose that lead to St. Peter's. We now have a 2-goal lead. It is now 4-2. And just a broken play on the boards starts a 2-on-0. And it results in another goal. The face-off is won by St. Peter's. Makes the move around, shoots, save made by the goalie. And McClancy now starts a breakout, but the hitting's starting to pick up. And it's gloved down by the goalie, with 1:38 to go in this first period. Face-off is won by McClancy. And the defenseman takes it behind his own net. He cuts back and starts to go to his net. And he's going to start to take off with it. Crosses the red line, crosses the blue line, fakes the shot. And he's going to shoot there. And it's a save made by the St. Peter's goalie. And face off to the St. Peter's goalie's right, I believe. Face off is taken to himself, he just fires it wide. And St. Peter's almost gives up another goal there. As McClancy now gives it away there. McClancy keeps it in. Shot saved, made, and pushed into the corner. As St. Peter's brings it behind their own net. But McClancy has some pressure on. And they're able to keep the puck in the zone. Swings it D to D. With 46 seconds to go. Shoots, save, made. And throws in front of the net, but no one is there. And a broken play now. Gives St. Peter's trying to dump it out, but another keep. And the puck is now pushed in. And St. Peter's is going to take it up. And he's got space to work with. He's going to make a move. Goes around the net. Wide open in front, but he can't get the handle of it. And there's 15 seconds to go, and McClancy just has to send it down for an icing. 11 seconds to go now in this first period. Face-off is won by McClancy into the corner. Two guys on him, but he's going to send it out. And shoots off his own player as time expires. Back and forth this first period. It is 4-2. The second period will come shortly.
When the cookies are all made and the baking's all done, it's time to sit on down on the couch. She's earned it. That's right. It's Midnight Sports. Your grandma loves to watch.
Welcome back. Second period about to begin. Right about now. As St. Peter's has a 4-2 lead over McClancy if you're just tuning in. And face-off is won by McClancy, who's going to take it down in the middle, dump it in, but St. Peter's stick gets in the way. And it's going to be a 2-on-2 now for St. Peter's. He stops and McClancy now has it, throws it weak side for his teammate, but he won't get it. And St. Peter's starts to take off, and he's going to go in 2-on-4, stood up by the defender, but he loses it immediately and shoots. Oh, tipped it in as St. Peter's player slips right behind the defenseman. And he's able to tip it in right in front of the goalie and extends their lead to 3 against the Crusaders. Just 38 seconds into this period. Face-off is tied up but won by McClancy, and they're going to go right into the zone. right to his shot, fires way high. As St. Peter's takes it from their wall, as the defenseman takes it to the blue line, makes a move between the two guys. They're gonna go in, passes it, and gets stood up there. And they're gonna take it from their half wall, go in 3-on-3. Throws it to absolutely nobody. McClancy's just gonna take off. 1-on-3. Shoots wide again. As St. Peter's now gonna take it up. And try to dump it in, but he won't be able to. And McClancy now is gonna try to get some offense going. Shot, save made, rebound, and just goes wide. And another try thrown in front, goes to the point, shot off two St. Peter's players, doesn't go in. Going a big hit right on the half wall. And now he gets it, shoots. What a save by the goalie, right off the knob of his stick. And the puck now at the half wall. Crusaders now with it, D-to-D, and shoots wide again. And now kept in by McClancy. Bats it down with his hand. He's going to go all the way in. Shoots, save, and rebound. He swings and misses. And St. Peter's going to ice it. And McClancy starts the pressure on. And St. Peter's has no answer except to ice the puck. Physicality started to pick up a little bit as well. The face-off to the St. Peter's left side of their defensive zone, and is won by St. Peter's, who's stood up by the defenseman, thrown to him, and Crusaders now, and almost shots and misses that one, covered by the goalie. He just had an empty net, and he just swings and misses. And it's just going to be covered by the goalie. And the face-off will be on his right, which is tied up in his feet. Won by St. Peter's, now into that zone. Goes up to St. Peter's point, makes a move, sends it back in. Now St. Peter's has it in the other corner, who slides it to behind the net. And a big hit there, right behind the net. And the physicality is starting to pick up with him. St. Peter's still with the puck, shoots way over the net. St. Peter's on the point now, sends it back in the zone. Now on the half wall, moves to the slot, cycles it down to the corner, blocks the pass, but St. Peter's gets it back, and he's going to get it, shoots, missed the stick in front, and it's going to go back to St. Peter's now. Blows a tire there, and it's going to give McClancy a chance to get it out of the zone. And he's fake a slap shot, goes in, fires, save made by the goalie. As McClancy caught a nice break there. And they can have any chance they want any break they want, because they're short bench. As face-off will be in McClancy's offensive zone now. Face-off won by St. Peter's. And it now goes to their corner, around the half wall, and it goes out of the zone. And McClancy will regroup now, as they send it all the way down to St. Peter's zone. They get it out, and they're gonna have and they miss the opportunity for another rush. And McClancy gets it out of their zone, and St. Peter's will have to regroup. Slide to D-to-D. back to D again. The third time going D, and he's just gonna tips it, no icing, as McClancy's now gonna throw it from behind their net to the half wall, and McClancy's gonna take off now, stops there, and he's gonna regroup and go right back to work. He's gonna shoot off of St. Peter's stick and out of harm's way. St. Peter's has nothing else to do but to ice the puck. With 9:54 left to go in the second period. The face-off will be all the way down the other end, the St. Peter's zone. Up, and I guess St. Peter's has a player going to the box. I have no idea what that is about, but it's gonna stay 5-on-5. I would assume it'd be like a equipment violation of some sort. As puck's won by St. Peter's, and he's just gonna take off around the defenseman. He's going to go all the way in and just slip it right through the 5-hole. And it's going to be 6-2 now in favor of St. Peter's. Face-off is tied up, won by McClancy, and he's going to take it back to his own zone. He's going to start to take off, but he loses the puck there, and they have a chance to get another one. And let's see if St. Peter's will start something. Slides it to the point, goes to the half wall, back up top, fires. He missed that one. Puck is still out in front, but McClancy will clear it. And icing is waved off, tips it, and the goalie plays it before McClancy cannot. McClancy still wins it. A big hit there. To knock him off the puck. And it will go still in the offensive zone for McClancy. Shoots, blocked. Still with McClancy though. As they'll bring it to the point, slides it to the other side, and he's gonna shoot. Save made. It's still, and whistle blows. A little late there. With 8:36 left to go here in the second period. Just a quick stoppage in play here. I don't know what's going on with the goalie, but just hang tight and we'll return to the action shortly. we're going to return to the action right as soon as we drop the puck. We apologize for that delay. I don't know what that was about. As puck goes all the way down to McClancy's zone. One with St. Peter's player coming hard, and he gets tripped up. No arm there. And goes in up to the front of the net as St. McClancy will take it behind their own net and start to take off with it. Start to go end to end with it, but it gets stood up. Loose puck there, knocked away by McClancy as they get it back. He makes a nice move to shake him away. And he tries to make the second move, but won't be able to. And St. Peter's is going to start a 3-on-2 rush. Trying to throw it cross ice, but he won't be able to get the stick in the way. And McClancy's gonna break out with a stretch pass and the puck just gets away from him. Turns away. Going to the net, there it is, and save made by the goalie. And St. Peter's will try a stretch of their own, but to no avail. They get back in. Oh, and a big collision there. No icing called as the puck goes down to the other side of the rink. And McClancy's just going to start to skate up with it. Going to go from the left side across St. Peter's blue line. He's going to try to get it on net. Puck is still loose. As goalie had trouble covering it. All 10 guys thought it wasn't covered, but it turns into a 2-on-0 and it's offsides. As McClancy is saved by the blue line. That prevented a 2-on-0 chance and possibly another goal. With 6:46 to go here in this second period. Face-off is won by St. Peter's. And McClancy just flips it out. Glove down by St. Peter's. And now on the blue line. Hit there. Goes back to St. Peter's defenseman who swings it D to D. Back D to D again. And swings it off the boards right to the winger on there. And it gets into the corner of McClancy's D zone. And now they have it behind the net as they swing it right to St. Peter's point. And he's just going to walk into the slot. It's stolen away by McClancy, and they're going to take off. And he's going to go 1-on-2. Shoots. Save made by goal. He's going to send it all the way down. No icing as St. Peter puts some pressure on. And then McClancy's going to swing it in. No icing called again. St. Peter's is going to start his breakout as he's going to skate it up to the red line into McClancy's zone. Widen the stance there. Oh, and it goes in as he saw something we didn't in that on the net. And now it's a 5-goal St. Peter's lead with 5:32 left to go here in this second period. Face-off is won by St. Peter's, and they're going to take it up. Makes the move there. And on the half wall there, hit there, and no icing called there, and St. Peter's will take it behind their own net up to their half wall. Swings it around to their hanging winger. Gets it across the zone. Stood up by the defenseman there, but he gets out into the neutral zone now. He's swinging D to D, who holds with it. Gets to the wall. Swings it cross ice. leaves it for the defenseman. Swings it D to D. Throws it up into the neutral zone. And is not able to get it in the zone. And McClancy now will try to start something. Up, there goes the ice stick. McClancy now gets it back. But had to regroup because of the offsides, delayed offsides. And they will now go back all the way into their own zone. Flips it to the neutral zone. And moves it to the center ice, but they missed the pass there. McClancy now in their own zone. Into the neutral zone. And take it side to side with it and just dump it in. And St. Peter sends it behind their own net. McClancy keeps it in the zone there. Trying to get something. Fires over the net and out of play. With 3:47 left to go in this second period. Face-off is won by St. Peter's. Kept in, not for long, as they're going to get another rush, 3-on-3. He gets behind the first guy, off the post. Trying to go short side on that shot. And now goes into the corner. Now St. Peter's gets it back. Shoots, save made by the goalie. And throws it up the middle of the ice. A scary play there by McClancy. And now ends up behind their own net. Just flies it cross ice. And go in, shoots just wide the net. And it'll go out all the way out of the zone. And two McClancy guys, two St. Peter's guys check that on the forecheck. Leaves no other choice to dump it in. And St. Peter's starts their breakout. Who swings across ice, tipped right to McClancy's defenseman, who sends it to the neutral zone, back to St. Peter's defenseman, who throw D to D, back to D again, who loses it, gets it to the forward, who's stood up at the blue line, who the defenseman turns it over and shoots one-timer, doesn't get all of it and just goes wide. McClancy now throw it D to D, throw it up ice, and almost gets there. And McClancy now in the neutral zone with the puck. Brings it all the way back to their own zone. They don't have anything to work with, as there he starts to go up with it, shoots way high over the net. And he tries again, but it's a save made by the goalie. And St. Peter's starts their breakout now from their own corner. Tries to go D, but messes it up, but they recover quickly. And a big hit there. But now St. Peter's has a 2-on-1 developing into 2-on-2, and he scores. That's another broken play. Turns into another odd man rush. When now St. Peter's extends their lead to 6 goals. It is 8-2 McClancy. 8-2 St. Peter's. Face-off won by St. Peter's. Gives it back to their own defenseman. Slides it D to D. And sends it up. Intercepted by McClancy, who's going to start to take off. Up the middle of their own ice. Shoots, save made. Trying to cover it, but he won't be able to. The puck is still loose behind the net. It still is loose in the slot. Still goes behind the St. Peter's net. And they're going to throw it to the point. And he shoots, and it doesn't just gets to the other corner. And puck now on the half wall. And St. Peter's now has another breakaway opportunity. Goalie all the way out, and he makes the play. What a play. And McClancy sends it out. And it was a great play by the goalie, turning into almost an offensive chance for McClancy. Now they come back down this way with 20 seconds to go in the period. And they slide it back up, intercepted by McClancy. And going in 1-on-3 is the McClancy player. Puts it through his legs and goes wide. And just 2 seconds and 1 to end this second period. As this game was close, but St. Peter's has started to run away with this game. Let's hope McClancy can turn it around from a beautiful play by the goalie. Let's hope that sparks them up a little bit. It is 8-2 St. Peter's after 2. Yeah, it's not your fucking problem. I know. What's going on? Alright, welcome back. 15 more minutes of hockey on this Friday night at Aviator. And St. Peter's up 8-2 against McClancy. As faceoff is won by St. Peter's, and they're just going to dump it in. And McClancy sends it right back out. As St. Peter's now regrouping in the neutral zone. They get the red line. Not able to dump it in. McClancy now have a chance. And poke checked by the goalie. And another great chance by McClancy, as they're going to send it right back in to their zone. St. Peter's swing to D. Gives an area pass just out of reach, as McClancy now able to get the puck back, going into the zone. Trying to go in, but it won't be able to as they send it back to the defenseman. And McClancy now trying to send it into the corner, and is able to. And St. Peter's now has a 3-on-2 developing. And he's going to make it, goes through his legs. Now behind his own net and waiting for them to start up. Back to the point. He shoots. Save made by the goalie. And loose puck there. Recovered by St. Peter's in their own zone. He'll swing it to his partner. And they take it into the neutral zone. And still with the puck now. And right in front of the net, and it scores. Wide open in the slot. And it is now a 7-goal St. Peter's lead. The face-off is won by St. Peter's, and defenseman puts it in the zone. And he sends it out now, and St. Peter's are going to have to regroup. Slides it D. Gives it to the center, streaking in. Now going in 1-on-3. Can't get anything happen, and just goes into the corner. He still has the puck now. The puck is glued to his stick right now as he just throws it, trying to get it up, but stick is in the way. And St. Peter's is going to regroup once again. Slide to D. Takes up to the forward. It's going to be a 3-on-4 rush. Goes through everybody. Save made. And rebound is just enough. And McClancy tried to get it there, but nothing to avail. And St. Peter's defenseman goes through everybody right now, and his shot blocked. And he goes right back to the slot. And a second pass to the slot, no one there. And St. Peter's now have it behind McClancy's net, but it's taken away by McClancy. But St. Peter's gets it right back. Goes through everybody. Oh, and doesn't get the shot off. Trying to get it to the point. They won't be able to. And McClancy just decides to ice the puck there with 11:31 left to go in this game. Face-off won by St. Peter's. Shot scores. And right off the face-off, St. Peter's puts in another one. And the clock is going to start to run with an 8-goal lead for St. Peter's on McClancy. If they win this face-off now, then they can take it into the zone. Oh, and some anger is starting to boil over for the McClancy players as they get the puck now and just ice it down. And we're going to get a stoppage in play with 10:54 and counting left to go here in this third period. Face-off is won by McClancy, and they're going to try to chip it out, and they will, as St. Peter's is going to have to regroup in their own zone. Swings a D to D. Oh, trying to go for a hit, and a penalty will be called. And he sticks his knee out and goes knee to knee. And McClancy will have to kill this penalty off. St. Peter's will go on a power play for 2 minutes. Face off one into the McClancy corner, and they're just going to try to send it out, but won't be able to. Kept in by the St. Peter's goalie. And now at the point, shot tipped, save made by the goalie. And McClancy trying to send it out, won't be able to. Delayed offsides called now, and McClancy trying to get something going, but is not able to. They have a chance to score. And that St. Peter cycles it into McClancy's corner. Back up to the top of the circle, now cross into the slot, save made. And puck is still loose, and it's going to wind up in McClancy defenseman's stick, who circles back down. And game's starting to slow up here. I don't blame him. And St. Peter's shot save made by the goalie. And Clancy starts to take the puck up. With 56 seconds left on the St. Peter's power play, he shoots and he scores. A good shot. Hopefully gives this McClancy team a spark, as they look dead at right now. A really good shot. Well, now it's 10-3 in favor of St. Peter's. McClancy takes it in, shot goes behind their own net. And McClancy now tries to shoot that one, but it won't go into. It will go into the corner. St. Peter's takes it away, and they're going to start a rush. It's a 3-on-2, and they're going to. Delayed offsides is called right now. It is even up right now, with 7:57 left to go in this third period. It's McClancy with the puck now in their own zone, and they're going to see if they could start to get something. A shoot, save made, and the goalie plays it into the corner. And St. Peter's now gets the puck back. Or chips it off the wall, but McClancy takes it right back, shoots, save made by the goalie. With 7:29 and counting left to go in this game. He shoots, missed the net there. And they get the puck back, and he fires this blocked. And McClancy is going to give up another rush, and we have a breakaway here now. And he shoots way over the net. He gets it back, and he scores. And the lead is now back up to 8, with 6:44 left to go in this third period. And face-off is won by St. Peter's, and they're going to just take it behind into their own zone and back into the neutral zone. And just going to take it all the way. Goes through everybody. fires, goes wide. And McClancy now gets the puck. They're gonna send it out. Missed it. Icing is waved off. And St. Peter starts their breakout from behind their own net. Gets up to the half wall. Gets it out of their zone now. And it's gonna another odd man rush nearly developing here. But St. Peter slows it down. Gives it to the half wall. Spins around, makes a move past his guy. And he's gonna try it. Michigan, I presume. And won't be able to. As they have to start to regroup. And St. Peter's player starts to go through everybody. Makes a move there. Takes it behind the net. But is stopped by the McClancy defenseman, who puts it back to the other side. Throws across the ice. And it's chipped up. And he's going to take off. It throws it back. Shot wide. Whiffs on that pass there. And St. Peter's starts behind their own net. Takes it up to the half mark. And it's just going to enter the zone through the middle. Stopped by the McClancy defenseman, who holds on to it, throws it right back to St. Peter's defenseman, who shoots, but it's a save made by McClancy goalie. And now McClancy starts up there. Breakout yet again, but they just dump it down on net, so no icing will be called there. As St. Peter's starts to take it back into McClancy's zone. But no offsides there. Puck's now in the corner. And it's gonna stay there. No one is able to move that. It pops out to St. Peter's defenseman, shoots, save made. Oh, they're just going for the body now. Arm up. We have a penalty on McClancy, as the frustration is getting to them. And it's getting rough out here. I would be pissed off too if I was losing by 8. Face off won by St. Peter's. Back up top to the point. He's just going to hold it. Puts it in the corner where the St. Peter's player is. Throws it up top. Swings it D to D. Intercepted by the McClancy defenseman. And McClancy gets it back and toe drags through one guy and is now behind his own net. Isn't able to make that move efficiently as his puck's thrown to the slot, but takes it out of the slot. Now St. Peter's now has it on their point. Slides it cross ice to the half wall. Back to the point. And back to the half wall. Moves it up the half wall. He's going to make a move around. Back up to the point. And St. Peter's is just toying around with McClancy. As McClancy just finally is able to dump it in. The goalie plays it out. But as soon as McClancy gets a chance, St. Peter's is just right back on it. McClancy dumps it back in to the zone. St. Peter's goalie throws it up top. With 2 minutes left to go in this game. St. Peter's is going to slowly take up the ice. And they're just going to dump it in. And puck now on St. Peter's stick. goes for the hit, misses, and St. Peter's is just killing the rest of this game off. And power play is over. Hit there. And St. Peter's now has the puck on the wall. Throws it cross ice into the corner, but no one's there. As St. Peter's now has it right in front of the net, but is not able to get a shot off. And there's 1 minute to go in this game, as St. Peter's takes it out of their own zone just to kill time. As they cross the neutral zone and then send it in. Save made by the goalie. St. Peter's now has it behind in the slot now. Slides it to the point. Gives it down to the half wall in the corner now. Gives it to a save made and covered with 22 seconds and counting. And there might be another face-off. There is. Won by St. Peter's. And shot, missed on the shot. That shot didn't get through, and that is the game. So St. Peter's takes this one on a Friday night at Aviator. Thank you for joining us here on Midnight Sports. I'm Matthew Fauci. Final score, St. Peter's 11, McClancy 3. Thank you for joining us.